You know, does anybody not know why they're here? How many people were here 8 years ago about this time? Yeah, I saw a lot of friendly faces in the crowd here before we kicked this show off, and it was an opportunity to say thanks to so many of you people who, 8 years ago, you took a chance on a couple of guys who weren't politicians. One guy, Jack Bergman, and one guy, Donald Trump. So here we are, 8 years later. And guess what? Since it's football season, I might use a couple of football analogies, but the ball's in your court again, 8 years later. The ball is in your court here in the 1st District of Michigan, which is our home. It's our home. We own it. Nobody tells us what to do. We live our lives. We're decent people. We're God-fearing, and we believe in America. Unfortunately, not everybody does, and we've seen that on the campaign trail. Now, my mother was a Minnesota farm girl, and she knew the different smells of manure on a hot August day. I'm married to an Iowa farm girl, and she does the same, so I know manure when I see it. And why I say that is the VP candidate on the other side, I worked at a little farm supposedly where he taught school, and there's still manure that he left there as a school teacher. Well, number one, how many are veterans? Raise your hand. You know, I want to give a big shout out to all of our veterans and their families, but our active duty friends tonight who couldn't be here because they are at the Patriot game over at Thurlby Field. So let's give our veterans and their families a round of applause. USA. Let me tell you a little something about what you got to be proud of. There are 435 representatives in the United States Congress, in the House. And every election cycle, every year that there's an election, all of the districts are ranked number 1 through number 435 in various categories. But in this category, it was about registered voter turnout. In the 2022 election, number 1 out of 435 was the 1st District of Michigan because you voted. You're going to do it again. You've heard Pete talk about it. You heard Tudor talk about it. You're going to hear the president talk about it. You will control the outcome here in Michigan for the presidential election and send President Trump back to the White House because not only did you vote, you got 10 of your friends to vote. Are you with me? And as a veteran, I'll say one thing. The only people that piss me off are those who don't vote. Because if you don't vote, you dishonor the service of the men and women who fought for that right, in some cases gave their lives. So vote. Now, when you vote, that ballot has 2 sides. Okay? Make sure you fill out all the down ballot votes because we got good people running for all those. Don't just stop at the front of the page. But You've heard Pete talk about it. You've heard Tudor talk about it. We have the opportunity, and we need to take control of the Michigan House back so we can bring some sanity to Lansing in the legislative side, and that means sending Lisa Trombley down there to represent it, not what we have now. You know, my staff prepared a lot of notes tonight for this, and I haven't used a one. But that doesn't mean I took what they wrote. I felt compelled tonight to kind of speak a little bit off the cuff because of the fact that we don't do anything rotely. We do it with a passion. We do it with heartfelt meaning. We do it with an outcome in mind. And the outcome is to get control, number one, back in Michigan, but number two, get control of the White House, get control of the Senate, and maintain control of the House of Representatives. And the only way to do that, and I know you're getting sick of hearing this, but again, I know that right now you are thinking about people you know that you're making that mental list. Well, make sure you give them a call and let them know. Because what we have today, thanks to a Harris-Biden administration, you know, by the way, they've redecorated the basement in the White House over the last 4 years because that's where Biden spent all his time. So I guess, you know, it's going to be really good when President Trump gets back and we'll actually make it functional. What have we suffered over the last 4 years other than, you know, scripted chaos by the other side? Think about what President Trump did when he was in office. He bankrupted Iran. He basically put sanctions on them and stopped them from doing the evil that they do around the world. He leaves, Harris and Biden come in, and they bankrolled Iran. They started the flow of cash going again. You talk about lack of leadership? Absolutely. You know, 8 years ago, what were we saying here about Hillary? Remember that? What was the chant 8 years ago? Lock her up, right? I remember leading that chant. Well, how about this one? How about we just throw Harris out? Let's hear it. Throw her out. Throw her out. Nothing sends a better message to the world than when America stands up for others to help. But it's time, folks, we stood up for ourselves. We stand up for ourselves as a country. We bring that power and that might of our economy and our creativity, our Christianity, our humanity, and all of those things that make us who we are. Because right now, it's time to rescue our economy that Harris and Biden have ruined over the last 4 years. So you've heard it from, you know, everybody that's spoken so far. Make your plan to vote, execute your plan. Early voting starts Saturday. Let's go there. Let's start the ball rolling right away. Find your friends, bank your vote, get that vote done before Election Day, because, you know, God has a way of putting snowstorms on Election Day around here in northern Michigan, and we don't want to have any excuse of that. We are all hands on deck, and I have no doubt in my mind that if we do what we know we need to do and that we're motivated to do, we are going to send Donald Trump to the White House. We are going to send Mike Rogers to the Senate. We're going to send Lisa Trombley down to Lansing to kick some butt down there. And we're going to vote all the way down ballot, and all those county commissioners and those township supervisors and whoever else is on the ballot to make sure that we regain control of what we know is right here in northern Michigan and across the country. And, oh, by the way, did I say I'm running again? I would humbly ask for your vote. I'll I'm so proud to represent you, and I smile every day. If you ever see me smiling in a committee room or on the House floor, I'm thinking about home. Okay, I'm thinking about the beautiful fall colors that we've just passed here, but most importantly, I'm thinking about all of you who I have had the opportunity to represent for the last 8 years, and I'm looking forward to the next 8. God love you all. God bless America. Let's get Donald Trump back in the White House.